Welcome once again to another edition of Quoth Raven, Lewis Bright Raven. I'm your host, Lewis Bright Raven, 30-year veteran writer, illustrator, editor, publisher of comics, science fiction, fantasy horror, role-playing games. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I had to run some errands today between the two shows, and it took longer than I thought, and I got home. Had barely enough time just to get everything prepped for this episode. And then, of course, my dad, being the lazy putz he is, he didn't fix dinner. So I had to do it. So I was scrambling at the end there, but we managed, and I'm fed. So we can begin. This is going to be a new staple for remainder of season 4 and into season 5. I think Tuesdays will be my crowdfunding and books that I got through crowdfunding reviews day. So we'll talk about crowdfunding and what projects are out there that might be of people's interest to back, and we'll talk about the stuff that I've actually backed and gotten and review those on Tuesdays moving forward. So let's go ahead and get started with the stuff that's out there. Starting with Beowulf 1 through 4. The adventure, it spans centuries. I actually have already backed 1 through 3. I'm getting issue number 4. I've had the creator of the series, Grant Lankard, on the channel before, so we've talked about this at length in the past. I've reviewed the books in the past. I think, let me check real quick. If you want to go back into the archives of the channel, let's see. I'll figure out what month it was. That's that one. Go back to 5/26/22, and you'll see me reviewing 1 through 3. So there's that, all that stuff. But the current campaign, as you can see, has a $3,500 goal. And it's at about halfway there, a little bit over halfway. 82 backers with a little over a month to go. Slacker finds out that he's the reincarnation of Beowulf, and he's got a sidekick who's a magic cat that's Merlin as a cat, and a 13-year-old girl. So they're going to fight the dragon in this episode, in this issue. Let's go ahead and hear what Grant has to say.
Hey everybody, I'm back to talk about Beowulf number 4.
Oh, Father, let's stop beating around the bush. We both know people are just here to see me. Beowulf is an adventure that spans centuries, and as good as issues 1 to 3 were, issue 4 is the best yet. If you read any of the first 3 issues and liked anything about them, you need to read issue 4. Issue 4 has more emotion, more action. What if you haven't read issues 1 to 3? Well, the trailer should catch you up.
Hazel always knew there was something special about her cat Mooney, but she's still shocked when Mooney opens his mouth to tell her he's just had a vision. An ancient evil has awoken after centuries of sleep, and only one man can stop it, the legendary warrior Beowulf. Unfortunately, it's been over 1,000 years since he slayed a dragon, and he's been reincarnated as this guy. His name is Victor, and he's more unemployed millennial slacker than mighty warrior.
And of course, if you missed issues 1 to 3, there's no way to get them. I jest. Of course you can get copies. There's a catch-up tier, or you can just get individual issues as an add-on after you pledge for issue 4.
So are you done talking about Beowulf number 4, Mooney?
If that's not enough to get you excited about this project, I don't know what more I can say. Enjoy the comic book.
Don't worry, Mooney got lots of treats after his big day of filming. Here's a photo of him and his best friend, Stitch, relaxing afterwards.
Sorry if you hear me crunching on my dinner, what's left of my dinner. But there's the first 3 issue covers. Again, this is about Hazel, a preteen girl living in suburbia, when she figures out that her cat is having a premonition of a dragon awakening from a century-long nap and tells her. And they have to go find this guy who is, basically Beowulf, reincarnated as an unemployed millennial slacker who can't even get his own life together, let alone slay a dragon. So they're trying to train him, and that's what the first 3 issues are. And now they got through the first 3 issues, we're actually going to find out that he has the powers of a dragon himself, and he can actually go fight the dragon in this new issue. And he can fly, breathe fire. And there's the cover for number 4. I don't know if it's digital illustration or not. I don't think it is, but it could be. It certainly looks that way on issue 4, doesn't it? That's the standard edition cover. There's the special edition, deluxe edition. So, a bunch of people doing that. He didn't put my critical review up. Oh, well. That's fine. Again, there's your different standard edition cover, your deluxe edition. I may have to switch. I got the standard edition listed. But let's see how much the cost of the deluxe. Oh, it costs $12 for the deluxe print. I don't think I'm going to spend $5 more for a different cover. So I'll keep it where I've got it. Okay. I've got the t-shirt from before. Let's see. You get an air freshener now, apparently, as well. They're printing on Comix Wellspring, which is fine. And I guess your stickers that are going to go with it as well. So quite a bit there. Mainly, I'm mentioning it again because it is something that I've reviewed and backed before, and it's modestly okay. I mean, I'm not over the moon for it per se, but it's not something I felt like I wasted my money on. I don't mind making mention of it again. How much is the catch-up tier? Let's see. Let's find out real quick. The digital is 17 and the print is 19. And that's, not including your shipping. So 4 divided by 19 is like not quite $5 a book. Say $4.99 a book, roughly. And you get the stickers. And if you wanted the deluxe one with him flying, instead of the ones, it costs $24, a little bit more for some reason. And they have a chrome cover as well. So there's that. Let me see if I can get this thing to share. There's the Kickstarter address. Or you can just look up Beowulf on Kickstarter and probably come across it. Yeah, that's a pretty decent price. Whoops, I didn't know my mic was muted there for a minute. Yeah, I had the thing on mute for a second there. That was my fault. This is Mittens Space Pilot. This is the second book we're going to talk about. Has a $1,700 goal. It's surpassed its goal, so it will be there. Almost $4,700, 200 backers with 48 hours left to go, 47 hours left to go. And let's see what happens here.
Hello, I'm Greg Moquin, writer, creator of Mittens Space Pilot.
And I'm J.R. Harris, the illustrator and letterer for Mittens Space Pilot.
If you don't know what Mittens is, it's a 24-page book, fully finished. The story behind it is an all-age sci-fi comic about an infamous thief and space pilot that goes by the name Mittens. He strikes a deal with the cat mafia on planet Yarn to retrieve a priceless artifact from the dreaded dog beings.
For the visual approach for Mittens, we took a lot from Star Wars and Star Fox, going with like a fun sci-fi style, but we wanted to add a little bit of noir elements as well. We also decided to go with a gray-blue color palette because Mittens himself is colorblind, and so we wanted to show the world through his eyes, essentially. We have lots of rewards for the Kickstarter, including the hauler sticker, which is Mittens' ship, a special numbered and signed edition of the book, an N64-inspired art print, a trading card, and even a special flash drive that includes a lot of exclusive behind-the-scenes content that you can get.
So not only do we have all those rewards, but we have stretch goals, and they are a chibi art sticker by Hacker Barrera. We have a tuna sandwich sticker, and we have a bookmark. So if you like what you see, get us funded. I don't know.
If you like what you see with Mittens Space Pilot, grab a reward and help us to obtain our goal.
Okay. Now, I kind of like this one because, as you all know, I am into the whole space thieves and stuff like that with my own characters. So there's that. But it likes like just a fun all ages book. And as you know, I've made mention in the past that other people who we shall not name complain that there's no kid comics in America anymore. So I'm letting people know, yes, there are. Here they are. So let's see what they got and what their price tiers are. There's a close-up of the cover. The PDF is $5. The physical copy is $10, which is typical for Kickstarter prices. $15, you get the ship sticker, a PDF, and the physical copy of issue 1. For $25, you get the video game inspired print, the physical copy, and the Mittens issue PDF. I would think that they'd want to give you the sticker for the ship as well, but it doesn't say that they do. Let's see, $30. Oh, okay, that's because... Oh, for $30, you get a T-shirt. Munch, munch, munch on top of it, along with the ship sticker and the physical copy of the book. For $35, you get the trading card of the ship sticker and the physical copy. There's the flash drive, which has the physical and PDF versions. You also get the video game print, the trading card, and the hauler sticker. So you get basically everything for $65 on the flash drive as well. There's only 10 of those available, and they've got 5 of them gone already. Unfortunately, Red Pod, which is whatever that is, there was a limited print edition and PDF version, but that's already gone. So, yeah, not too bad. Let's go ahead and share that. Address with you. I haven't backed it yet. I will back it. North says about the Beowulf, modestly okay, doesn't get my money. Thank you for the honest review. If you want a full review, like I said, go back in my archives to what is it? May 26th, and they'll give you a full review, and you can see some of the interior art and stuff, and make a more informed decision as to whether or not you want to back it. But this is new to me, and I don't know. Let's see what else they've got here. Obviously, you know, if you're a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy, Star Fox, stuff like that. There's your goals of your chibi backers, and I don't really need a tuna sandwich sticker of all things. What am I going to do with a tuna sandwich sticker? But okay, whatever, folks. The magnet's cool. The flash drive. Of course, there's your T-shirt. Munch, munch, munch. He's chewing on a tuna fish sandwich. There you go. They got a keychain. Commissioner Quackers. Never Tell Me the Odds becomes Mousepad. Okay, that's interesting. And then for 4,000, which I think they're at, what are they on now on their backing here? Yeah, they're past it. So you're going to get a 3-page epilogue added already. So that's pretty cool. Um, and then if you get to 5,000, they'll do a sketch cover tier that you can buy as well. So there's quite a bit of stuff. All the unlocked digital comics for all backers. You're going to get all the guys' stuff on digital. I don't know. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 of them. So that's pretty cool. If you get down all the PDFs to read. And here's some of the concept art. And other characters. And here's the preview page. I like the idea of Planet Yarn, that's a giant ball of yarn. Now, I don't know. Monster would probably say this looks a little bit too more amateurish again or something. I don't know. But for what it is, I think it's fine. The color palette is a little bit muted, like they said. That's enough. I think he just gave you like a third of the story right there, but and they got quite a few people doing the blurbs, and then they go ahead and they go back through the different tiers as well. Are they catnip powered? I have no idea. It would be interesting if they were. Here we go. You get the physical copy of the Mittens ship and the PDF for 15. For 10, you just get the physical copy of the PDF. For 5, you just get the PDF. They had a limited edition of signed and numbered, so that's out of stock. There's only 15 of those. The barrel roll gives you the 5x7 art print based on the idea of an N64 video game, which is cute. A little bit outmoded, I think. I don't know who plays N64, but okay. I guess it was popular for Star Fox, though. The Gear Up montage for $30. There's a limit of 10 of them. You get the T-shirt, the book, the PDF, and the ship sticker for $35. Limit of 15. You get the trading card instead of the T-shirt and the sticker. But the thing is, I think the T-shirt they're not limiting. No, they are limiting 10. Okay. See, I would do it the other way around. I would have made the trading card 30 and the shirt 35. Because the shirt's going to cost more to ship and the shirt's going to cost more to make. Interesting. Oh well, that's just me. That's out of stock. Let's see. You get the flash drive, PDF, 64 print, and the trading card for $65. And then there's more add-ons that you can make as well. And then they've got unlocked extras that you can add on as well. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to get the book itself. But Well, give them the bankroll of Marvel, and you won't have that so-called primitive artwork. I'm sorry, you cannot measure them exactly identical when you don't have the same budgets. But, it just depends on who the artist is, too. But anyway, next one is Silence, Volume 2, Starseed. Now, this is a little bit adult, risque, heavy metal level type work. Just a fair warning. As you can see. Yeah, I agree with that. I'd rather do story pages than all the tchotchkes, but everybody seems to want the tchotchkes. I'm not a big fan of that myself, but it is what it is. Anyway, this is Silence, and it's from a French creator. It goes by Adam Cyber. This is Starseed. Not a whole lot of there. As you can see, it does have over $14,000 backed, 254 backers with 9 days to go. He only asked for a $1,500 goal, roughly. Here's a little bit more look at the artwork. It is a silent comic. There is no text. It is all visuals, period. It'll be 24 pages in black and white on A3 plus size. That means it's a little bit bigger than 8.5 by 11. They were drawn between August 20th, 2021 and January 2022 for the book. And it is a completely different story, not linked to the first issue. So if you missed the first issue, you're not missing out on anything. Let's see. It's $11 American for a printed copy. And then you can also, for $16, get the Starseed one and the first issue as well, which is called Mothership from 2020. Now, for me, I've seen a lot more of this than what's being shown here because he's got an ArtStation channel that he shows a lot more close-up work of this stuff, so I'm a little bit more interested in it because I've seen that. But a lot closer work, close-up artwork. It looks better close-up from on the ArtStation page than here. But this is one I'll probably back. I happen to like the silent comics. And just look at the artwork. Yeah, it can be expensive if you print a few. You have to go in bulk. I don't know exactly what it would be. It depends on where you get it made and size and a whole lot of other things play into factor. So I didn't know there was such a thing. You mean silent comics with no dialogue in them, or something else, Monster? Silent comics. Okay. Well, if you remember, I did the Broken Land book with Drew Morrison. He was on the show. It might have been before you came on as a viewer and joined the channel. But we've talked about his stuff at length, and he did the silent comic Broken Land. We've reviewed all 4 issues of that series. So if you go back in my archives, you should be able to find that. But let's see. I'm trying to think of what else. There was the snoring sounds. Pardon me. That was about a cat that goes on a silent, like, I'm trying to think of the word or the name of it. What's the comic with the little boy that goes on the floating bed? But it's like that with a cat. It's not that they're cheap to produce. They're just readily available and able to produce. Yeah, Little Nemo. The snoring comic with the little kitten, little black kitten is like Little Nemo. And yes, this will be black and white. But let's see. Whoops. And there's the link to that. And I'll probably add some of these links back into the description after the video is played out. Yeah, again, it just depends on the amount, a number of stickers you're printing and where else. But I've never made stickers, so I really don't know. I'm not one to get into all these gimmick extras. I'm not one who really cares if they're made, and I'm not one who really thinks about making them. Like Monster said, I'd rather add pages to the story than add extra stuff that doesn't mean much. To me, that's not like to me, that's like, if you want all that stuff, join a fan club. And it costs X amount, and you get all the stuff in one big bundle. That's how I would do it anyway, but that's just me. Let's go back here to this silence. There's some more. Like I said, it is an explicit 18 and up book. You can see there's nudity and stuff. There are 5 levels of rewards. The first is the Starseed issue. Second is both Mothership and Starseed. Third is issue signed and printed on a higher grade paper. Fourth tier is both issues signed and printed on high quality paper. And then the fifth is a pencil sketch, which will be done separately, in I guess as a print or something like that. In addition, there are 8 original ink drawings, especially done for the campaign, that you could probably purchase, but I don't know. I could enlarge those. I'm not going to. As you can see, they're blocked off and stuff. So, but you can get a postcard set of those illustrations as well in the set. So there's a lot of stuff there. And then there's prints from the cover to Mothership and Starseed as well. So there's a lot of cool stuff there. I haven't decided what I'm getting for sure yet, but I'm going to get something from this guy because like I said, I've looked at this stuff a lot closer from his ArtStation page without all the censorship over it. But like I said, you have to. It's very much in the vein of heavy metal. So if you're not into that sort of thing, pass on it. I don't buy that because a lot of people who aren't Comicsgate are doing extra stuff. So, it's just a platform, I think. I think that it's more of a situation that fans are greedy and they want all the extra goodies to back it. And if they didn't have it there, they probably wouldn't back the books. Just because why should I buy a book at $10 when I can get a regular comic at the comic shop for $4 or $5? If you're gonna make me pay $10, then yeah, I want extra stuff. So I think that's why that happens. It's shipping from France, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive in the shipping. Now, exactly how much it's going to cost on the shipping, I really don't know. I don't think they know for sure. Let's see. I don't see where it'll tell you, but that if it's coming from overseas, it says for the United States, if there's a significant number of backers, he will team with someone from Swordfish Island. I don't know where that is exactly. Let's see if I can find out what Swordfish Islands is. Doesn't say. Go back home. I don't know what Swordfish Islands is, but it's a website. And Swordfish will actually deliver it to you instead of him. I'm presuming that Swordfish Islands is some sort of website because it has books and treasures and digital and zines. So that would probably be the answer there. So I guess if there's enough backers from the U.S., then that's how he'll do it, is through them, and they'll be the one fulfilling it. That's a good question. Thank you for asking. And again, they'll directly receive all the U.S. orders and dispatch them through regular USPS, so it won't cost us that much. But that's cool. But if international backers other than the U.S., there you go. So hopefully he actually did think of that. That's a good thing. Okay. That's all for that one. Let me go ahead and go on to the next one. which is Crossing 1 through 6, which is a full mini-series. This is the last issue. You can get all the series. There's 3 days left to go. They have almost $9,400 out of the $3,500 goal, so they are backed and fulfilled. 250 backers, roughly. 3 days left to go. Let's see what they have to say. We didn't need that.
Crossing is a 6-issue miniseries, and we're back on Kickstarter to print issue 6. This is the long-awaited final issue in our first arc, and it's the end of the line for a paranormal odd couple if they can't put away a revenge killer and save Nina's little sister. We have 3 limited edition Kickstarter exclusives planned for this campaign, signed and numbered by the creators. This is the only time these collectibles will be created, ever. And this Kickstarter is the only way to ensure you get one. Crossing is a not-so-classic he said, she said. After a meet-cute with a locomotive, train engineer MC is haunted by the ghost of Nina, a goth girl with a grudge. He says her death was suicide, but Nina knows she was murdered, and she can't cross over until MC helps solve her case. The paranormal odd couple stumble onto a support group of ghosts and hosts in the same predicament. In our last issue, one of their group mates' pasts come back to haunt the haunters, and the little sister Nina left behind is heading for a crash. In our thrilling conclusion, it's up to this ad hoc team of conductors to keep the train from flying off the rails. The ghosts are already dead. Their living counterparts may be next. My name is Enrica Jang. I'm the writer and creator of Crossing, Azteca, and Angel with a Bullet. Alex Cormick is illustrator and the artist for several other popular series, including Sync from Comix Tribe Publishing and Road of Bones from IDW. Our color letters and production team include Mark Mulaney and guest artists for this final issue, Rachel Persephone and Justin Birch. Whether you're back on board for our next installment or you're new to Crossing and it's your first ride, we promise there's something for everyone. Our train car rewards are packed with bonuses and series extras for print and digital backers, including signed copies and other Crossing merch. We would love for you to help us fund this final issue in Crossing Mini. And who knows, we're firming up plans to lay more storylines in the world of Crossing. But we need you to get us to the other side.
Have you ever met a paranormal investigator who's 300 pounds, has blue hair, 30 cats, is not attractive like in every single comic book featuring them? Isn't that what they had in Astrid and Lily Saved the World on Sci-Fi? I don't know. It sure seemed like it. Sci-Fi Channel, but I could be wrong. Anyway. Let's take a look here. Again, this is the final issue of the 6-issue series for part 1, or chapter 1 as they're referring to it, to lay track for the next arc. Like you say, why are these, you could say, why is the goth girl always cute? But whatever. Let's see what their prices are. It's $1 for the issue PDF. It says issue 1, I'm pretty sure. Well, that's just issue 1. It's $1 for issue 1. And then for $5, you can get a deluxe PDF of one of your choice of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Passenger car is $8. That's the print copy of issue 6 plus any stretch goal rewards. That's all of them for $8. The double decker is your choice of any of the issues and all stretch goal rewards. $25 gets you the PDF story only for all 6 issues. $28 gets you a choice of one of the 6 issues, a poster of issue number 6. Plus, if you're a returning backer, you will automatically get a Crossing Series keychain to identify you as a true fan. Well, I never heard of it before, so I guess I'm not a true fan. Aw. Shucky darn. First class for $30, you get the deluxe PDF with all the extras for all 6 issues and all the stretch goal rewards. The printed comics for $39. That's $40 for 6. 6 goes into $40, around $6.50 an issue roughly. And you get all the stretch reward goals. For $45 as a digital reward. I'm not even worried about that, but it apparently gives you 4 bonus stories that are set in the world of Crossing, but maybe aren't based on this one story. $49 gives you a super digital pack. Whatever, that doesn't mean much to me. I guess you get the digital for all through 6, plus bonus galleries and script for all the issues for 1 through 6. That's their deluxe PDF. Plus you get a digital bundle of an additional 10 comic titles from the creators and a code for 5 more story titles of your choice from an online catalog. That's not too bad, actually. But it keeps getting a little bit higher on the pricing for stuff, and I don't know. Why not how much does it cost for all of them? That's the thing. Here we go. It's $80 basically, which is a little high, I think, for all 6 printed issues. I guess you're going to get some extra copies of some additional issues. You're getting a variant Invisible Woman of Crossing number 4, Ghost Vision number 5, with the collector's box signed and numbered with the poster, a baseball card, sketch card. All the books will be signed by the writer, and all the stretch word we go. I guess that's okay. I'm just not. It's a little high price for me, but I don't know. The concept sounds interesting, but I'm a little bit turned off by the price point to get everything as the back. If that's the tier that they got to do that, because I really don't care about all the variants and all the other bonuses. I just want the books. So I'll have to check in with the author on that one. No, they're not all Kickstarter campaigns. We'll get to at least one Indiegogo. Sounds like I know what you did last summer. Not really. Whatever. No, $18 an issue. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it gets a little bit expensive on these. I'm not really thrilled with their pricing on this one. I may end up passing. We'll wait and see. If I decide to back this, I'll let you guys know in a future one. But it was an interesting concept anyway. It grabbed my attention that way. Our next one is called This Land, number 5. I have reviewed this series before. This is the final issue of the run. As you can see, they've got a little over almost 3,900. They got 11 days to go with 156 backers. This is basically, I'm trying to think of the right phrasing, but well, let's go ahead and see what they got to say.
I'm Mark Abnett, winner of the Middle World Talent Contest and writer of Hit Girl. I'm a native of Aotearoa, New Zealand, living in Scotland. Here we are at the final issue of This Land. The story so far: within the reborn world of Aotearoa, New Zealand, an ancient god has fallen from the sky. A promise has been made and a bargain struck. Mercenaries, gods and monsters have fought for the right to claim this world, but now they face the biggest showdown against a god of all evil, and not everyone will walk away. This Land 5, Born Again, includes 32 pages of art and story in standard US comic format, printed on beautiful 150 GSM silk paper. Issues 1, 2, 3, and 4 are still available in our catch-up reward package and as additional add-ons. In this campaign, we have original art prints by Story Hemi Morehouse and incredible variant covers by series artist Pierre Dedelis with his tribute to Giant Size X-Men 1, and the much requested return of Marvel artist Oscar Yildirim's Days of Future Past variant for issue 3, which is now recolored with a different trade dress. The popular custom Funko Pops are back, but we also have the addition of these incredible custom Marvel Legend figures hand-painted and repackaged over many hours by myself. Okay. Why back This Land? Well, the book is complete, and it's already at the printers awaiting final print numbers. We've had 4 successful campaigns, and 3 of those has been Kickstarter projects we love. But hang on, you ask, why don't I just wait for the trade and buy it then? Well, I've got some incredible news. The global rights for This Land have been picked up by Scholastic and are being published in a smaller digest format in Australia and New Zealand in October this year. However, right now is the only chance you will ever get to have the US standard comic format on premium paper, so grab this chance while you still can. If you're still listening, thank you. Your support has fueled the success that the book has had so far. It's incredibly humbling and means so much to myself and the rest of the creative team. There are future stories beyond This Land, and I cannot wait to share with you what's coming next.
Now, of course, he just mentioned that they're going to be available probably in about a year from now through Scholastic then, because if they're going to go print through the UK and New Zealand for Scholastic, it'll probably be about a year or so before Scholastica US gets it, unless they didn't negotiate that yet. I don't know, but the thing about the Scholastic books is they're going to be much smaller. They're going to be probably either 5x7 or 6x9 instead of the standard 6 3/4 by 10, 10 1/4. That is the standard comic size. Yeah, it's a good humble pitch. It's been a pretty decent series. Like he says, the girl that looks like she's on fire has certain earth, lava type abilities that she's retained, and they're trying to get the powers from her and stuff like that. And like I said, I've reviewed the book. I've been giving it around a 3.5 to a 4 on the singles for 1 through 3. I think that's all I've reviewed so far is 1 through 3. So, it's a pretty good series, and I have no problem recommending this one. Let's see what they've got. Have I backed this? Yes, I backed it already. I got number 5. That's what I did, because I have the other 4 already. So basically, again, New Zealand is reborn as a different world. The ancient god is fallen from the sky. Helena, which is the lava girl, daughter of Axel, must lead a group of mercenaries against her own people to clear her name and bring her family back from the edge of death. And they've all, because they've all been basically taken and claimed. They've had to fight giant monsters and stuff like that, and now they got to face Wiro, the god of evil, to decide the final fate of New Zealand, basically. again, he's got the whole series completed. It's just waiting. It's cool that he's actually hand painted some of these Marvel figurines as his characters. I don't know. I guess some of these are Hulks based and repainted. I don't know who the Helna is based off of offhand, but that's pretty cool that he actually goes to the trouble to do that and offer that as custom Marvel Legends action figures. I wonder how much that costs. Let's see where that would be. And by the way, the digital only costs about $13 for all 5. And the print, let's see if we got the print. They got the variant. Where's the full backing of all of them? They got a coloring book version that you can get. That is, I'm waiting to see what he's wanting to do. Okay, $31 US gets you all 5 issues and digital. So you get a physical copy of all 5 issues for $31 plus shipping. Now, that's not bad. And it is shipping from the UK, just so you know. And he does have it on 150 GMS silk paper, which is a higher grade quality stock paper than most. A lot, I don't know why they're doing that, but a lot of these guys are going on a really high grade paper for these books for Kickstarter and for crowdfunding in general. I think it's because they want to just make it, since you're going to be spending money on the shipping and handling, they want to make it worth your value. You can get a t-shirt. For $43 American. Let's see. You get a bunch of different prints. The coloring book, digital coloring book, rather. A can cooler, but basically all the stuff that they have overstocked from previous campaigns is what it looks like. So I'm not big on that. You got your custom Funko Pop, which was that one figure that they showed. You get a sketch for $80 plus the comic and some other stuff. It's about $100 for those legends, though. For those figurines, that's quite a bit, and there's only 2 left. There's only 2 of 2, so yeah, I guess if there's only 2 of them, and it's custom painted and everything, maybe it's worth it. I don't know. There's a lot of digital out there. It's just that digital's cheaper in that respect because you're not printing anything. Oh, you mean they're doing digital art? Well, I mean, these are physically, I mean, I don't know if they're doing this digital. I mean, it's digitally colored, but I don't know if it's all digital art. But yeah, a lot of the modern artists draw digitally anyway. So, I mean, there's nothing we can do about that. But I'm going to, like I said, I backed this one for issue number 5. And I'll review the whole series again when I get number 5 in. So there's that. Okay, now you asked me whether or not any of the stuff was not Kickstarters. So here's your one Indiegogo, and that is Titan Mouse of Might Volume 3, Miasma. I've already backed this, and of course, this does have this will be a hardcover, probably 60 to 80 page book. Let's see what Gary has to say. Okay, well, not a whole lot. He just did the thing there, but we're going to go ahead and cut that off for a second. This is the actual volume 1. As you can see, it's a nice thick hardcover. It's oversized. There's some of the artwork is all black and white. And this is volume 1, of course. So, I got 1 and 2. So I'll be getting number 3, of course. Now, he did do a color version of this, so there will probably a color version of the volume 3 eventually. But I prefer the black and white to the color myself. Sometimes the color gets a little bit too muddy for me, and I prefer to see the gradations of the quality of the line art in Gary's work. So in that regard, I would recommend the black and white editions, which is what he's selling in this version. Let's see here. And there's a regular hardcover, and then he's going to have a deluxe edition cover, which is not going to look like that, I don't think. Let's see. You get the deluxe edition with $100 with a personal sketch inside. He's got 50 copies of that. 6 of them are claimed. It's probably worth the 100 if you want a sketch from him. He does a good job on his sketch work. The digital copy is $10. The regular hardcover is only $25 plus shipping. That's probably what I'll end up getting. Actually, I know I already backed this. I don't know why it says I haven't backed it. I need to talk to him about that. But Indiegogo is kind of weird this way. But anyway, $50 for the deluxe edition. There's 2 claimed. You can get all 3 if you haven't gotten the earlier ones for $70. You can get all 3 deluxe editions for $140. And as you can see, he doesn't have a bunch of extra stuff really going on with the perks going on. I don't know if he's going to do that. He has done stuff like that before. He's had sketch cards. He's had bookmarks. He's had different things with the previous ones, but he probably is getting tired of having to do that because it takes up space when you make all this extra stuff. So I don't know. I think it's just if you want the book, but who knows? And like I said, he's just going to keep the perks simple. So it's just that. Of course, he's also done his Packins Land Omnibus, the first 2 volumes of Titan Mouse, and 4 sketchbooks. I've bought one of the sketchbooks. You can also, he's having a fan art contest. That's why he hasn't done their stuff. Whoever wins the fan art will get to be the guy who does the Deluxe Perks sticker and bookmarker and trading card. Whichever one the winner wants to be, a sticker, a bookmark, or a trading card. That's kind of interesting. So you have to submit it and then post it on social media with hashtag Titan Mouse fan art. So, and there's one person from Fly Fox Pro. That little thing right there, it says "Let's Roll" is supposed to be him. You can't even see the mouse, but oh well, right? Let them do what they want. For every 1K, they send a gift box to a child through Samaritan's Purse, which is a different thing there. So every basic one, they're just going to send a whole gift box to a child through that organization. And here's some of the preview pages. Yes, he does all of his work traditionally. Not really fake Batman, but yeah. I mean, yes, he does. He is playing into that whole thing. What do I think of Young Rip is some? No, I have no interest in that whatsoever. I just certain people rub me the wrong way, and he rubs me the wrong way. So, yeah, not my thing. And I don't really care. I mean, he's got his money, whatever, But I tend not to go with those type of people. People who are already successful in other things. Like I'm never gonna back Keanu Reeves doing a Kickstarter for his comic book. I'm never gonna back Ethan Van Sciver. There's just certain, if CM Punk were to do it, I may like CM Punk the wrestler, but I'm not going to back a book by him because he's got money. He can afford to make his own damn comic. I don't need to pay for that. So stuff like that, I'm not that into. And that Ripa guy had money supposedly and already printed all the books. So I don't see the point in backing someone like that. To me, crowdfunding is for the people who have a good quality product that no one wants to support traditionally, and they don't have the money to do it themselves, so they're asking for help. That's what I feel crowdfunding is for, but that's just me. Yeah, well, again, I didn't even look at the stuff. I mean, just like I said, the person, the persona that he presented himself as just, didn't do anything for me. So, Okay. So yeah, this is definitely what I'm going to get, and I recommend. And as far as I know, I already backed this. I have to get a hold of Gary and have him confirm I've already ordered this. But other than that, I'm pretty good with that. Pop Culture even has original Titan art pages, so that tells you how much he likes Titan. So that's definitely if you haven't picked it up, pick it up. Alrighty, let's see what else we got. Okay, that is all the currently being funded campaigns. Now, of course, we've already done weren't you a big fan of his? Gary? Yeah, I like Gary just fine. Gary's a good guy. In fact, I believe that there's a collaboration between me and Gary in one of his sketchbooks, Titan. I did a pinup of that he inked, and as far as I know, it's in one of the sketchbooks. He didn't ink it quite right, though, unfortunately. But it is there in the sketchbook. Trying to think what sketchbook it would be in. Let me. I'll be right back. I'm going to put these away and see if it's in that other book I've got. Okay. This is the somewhat gothic and sometimes ugly sketchbook from Gary. And this is what he might do for you in a sketch. You don't get to pick your thing. He just does whatever sketch, and you get whatever you get. But that's the kind of sketch you get if you order a sketch from him, or something better than what I got. But let me see. I'm pretty sure it's in here somewhere. I just have to find it. Of course, my fan wants to blow the pages. There's so much stuff in this book. Sometimes I wonder how the heck he finds time to do all these things. Of course, these are years old too, so. Maybe it's not in here. I know I've seen it somewhere, but. It's got to be in here somewhere, because I only have this one sketchbook, and it was printed in one of the sketchbooks, so it would make sense that I would have the one that I appear in. See, it's got so much stuff in here. I'll tell you what, I'm getting a little annoyed that I can't find it in here. I may have to go through this. It might even be an issue volume number 2, but I didn't think it was. But it doesn't seem to be in here. Oh well, I will find it and show it to you guys later. Yeah, I've watched his draw streams. I kind of back and forth. I mean, a lot of times he was running the his live stream versus my show, so it's like I can't do the show and watch his live stream. So, but yeah, I know I've got it somewhere. No, he didn't do me wrong. He forgot somehow. He forgot to put the tail that I had drawn in, so it looks like he doesn't have his tail like he should. So it looks a little bit off to me in my mind. But other than that, and he changed. He didn't like the way I drew the pose on the figure, so he changed something on it that I didn't quite agree with. But it's his character, so I'm not going to worry about it. It's not worth me getting upset about. But let me see if it's in the other book then, because I didn't see it in there. Oh well, I don't know where it's at right now. Not the big deal. Let me see if it's. I've got it online real quick. Because it might be in there. It might not be. Yes, it is. Okay, here we go. I can share it with you. All right. Hold on a second, Monster Fan. There you go. My actual pencils are on the left, and his inks are on the right. Have a good night, Monster. I'll be back on Thursday, so that's so you know when the next show is. It'll be Thursday morning for the Q&A, and then Thursday evening for the next full episode. As you can see, where he forgot the tail and the inks. In some ways, I think he did a really nice job on it, and it looks sharp. But in other ways, I think he made it he changed things. Like he made the knee and made the foot look real out and flat, whereas I made it look more like a mouse's actual leg would bend. So the leg bends underneath, and it's just the foot. You wouldn't see the rest of the leg muscle on that. And then I had the other foot beneath the wood, and he just put it up that way. But that's, again, that's his choice. It's his character. He put the gloves more humanoid. I made it more with the pointed fingers. For the, like how the mouse's paws actually are. Things like that. But, again, it's his character, so not much I can really complain about. So there's that. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about books that I've actually received recently, and I'm going to review. And we'll start with Blood Force Trauma, number 5. And that was $10. Publisher is Dead Gremlin Comics. Writers are Jake Smith and Hiram Corbett. Artist is Jake Smith. The colors are by Jake Smith with flats by Ludwig Olimba. The genre is science fiction action adventure, released July 2022. What it's about: Lightning Legs Jones, that's the black guy in the bottom right corner there, enlists weapons expert Yusha Yumahara. I think you can, if you don't know which one that is, that's the female with the crazy helmet. To train rookie BFT, Blood Force Trauma champion Zap Daniels, that's the guy with the sword. Before his next match, we get to watch Zap as he watches film on his next potential opponents, Warhead and Eradicate, which are the two guys up top, facing off against one another as they duke it out for the top contender position. Turns out Eradicate gets his armor set up by Zap's new love interest, so she shows him the schematics on the armor, and he gets to plan his attack while he is being trained by Yusha, who is trying to teach him the spiritual side of the fighting form so that he's not just reliant on his own technology and thus easily dispatched by a superior opponent. Meanwhile, Lightning Legs Jones is seeking vengeance for the death of his friend at the hands of another fighter who's connected to the mob, and tries to sneak in on the guy's base of operations, but is found out and is about to meet a large group of thugs out to end him for good. What do I think about this series? This has been a really strong series. Smith and Corbett have been consistently well thought out in story, and Smith's art is very nice, especially with the crazy color palette that he maintains, that kind of day glow neon insanity. And it really makes his artwork stand out visually. This is probably one of my current favorite series right now. You asked me about what my favorite series are, North Free. This is one of them. It's just that since it comes out so sparingly, I don't really think of it as an ongoing series, even though it is. Now, that might be changing the status of this series. Smith recently announced on his social media that Dark Horse Comics is releasing the first 4 issues in a trade collection, and I'm hoping that this will lead to a regular schedule for the book through Dark Horse in singles rather than just collections, because then he can potentially get the book out regularly, keep the book on a good schedule, and get paid to do it. But for now, let's just keep supporting the guys and help them keep making this series. It's recommended for ages 16 up. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. There is Zap watching the match between the two guys on his video, and he's just, basically watching it and trying to figure out training. And she's like, well, you've been watching that for hours. Haven't you figured out what you're going to do? What, you're not ready, and he's just like, no, I'm not ready. I'm completely overmatched, type thing, So Uehara and Jones are talking, and she's like, he's not even close to being ready for this type of situation. How did he become champion? Which was, if you see the earlier issues, it's a really weird thing that they kind of just set him up to become a champion, even though he shouldn't be. Shouldn't even be a competitor. But so Jones is trying to get him ready and keep him alive, more or less, so that they can draw out the guy that killed his partner. And Uehara's like, you're just using the kid. And he gets mad and walks out and goes to try and sneak into the other guy's dojo. This appears to be the mock-up cover for the Volume 1 trade paperback that Dark Horse is going to release, sans the trade dress from Dark Horse. So be sure to look for it, or tell your retailer to pre-order it if you have not backed the regular campaign. I assure you, you won't be disappointed with the book. It's really good. That's probably what they're trying to tell you. But yeah. Our next book is Mercury Mouse 4 and 5. But before we do that, let me share the Blood Force Trauma Jake Smith thing. Even though his campaign is closed, you might still be able to buy number 5 from him. As you can see, they got $7,500 out of a $3,500 goal. It cost me $10, signed by Jake, for the issue. Let's see. I don't know. The best thing you can do is just, go to his page, and I'll go ahead and give you that. As you see, I got it a little while ago when I received it. No, not Cleopatra Jones. Yeah, it's not going to play it through because it's already closed.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Jake Smith.
And I'm Corbin.
And we are super excited to bring you the new issue of our comic book, Blood Force Trauma.
Once again, we'd like to thank everybody for supporting our last issue 4. What an amazing issue was to tangle with the guns of the introduction. I'm getting ahead of myself there.
Super cool, but don't take our word for it. We've got a bunch of experts lined up, and they're going to fill you in.
I'm Aubrey Sitter, co-creator of Bros, Stone Master, a bunch of other comics you probably read of. But I'm here to tell you about Blood Force Trauma, one of my favorite comics. Why? Because it is eye-searing color, it is bonkers character designs, and best of all, it is so much action, so many fights crammed into this thing. I adore it. I adore it so much that I got a t-shirt, a day one exclusive t-shirt on the last campaign. So go back Blood Force Trauma right this ding dong minute.
Yo, Blood Force Trauma is the shit, and I recommend anybody check it out. Because for real, you can tell that they fans of all the things that made us fall in love with video games, anime, and comics in the 90s. It's all right there, man. We talking about like insane action, death themes, death matches, the character designs, the colors, just all of it. It's insane. Check it out.
Hey, I'm Jordan Kreger, creator of The Fist and Tiger Boy Versus. I love Blood Force Trauma for all the violence and the action and the movement, which Jake draws exceedingly well as the emotional beats. The character designs are rad, colors are vibrant and fun. It's a great.
I'll talk about the coloring. So let's go down here and see that. Because I once I saw Aubrey on there, I was a little bit annoyed because no one left the fight is basically the same kind of thing as Blood Force Trauma. Only Blood Force Trauma is better than him. Of course, they had a Tradmore variant cover. Let's see if they got any actual pages in here. They got all the pinups. I don't care about the pinups. I want to see story pages, damn it. I actually own one of these shirts. Of course, there's other shirts like the Lightning Legs one that he mentioned. This is the older stuff from issues 1 and 2, but you can see that, like you say, very vibrant color scheme, very neon day glow type colors. So anyway, that is where you can get the book if you want to buy it on Kickstarter, or you can contact Jake Smith on Kickstarter and ask him if they got copies left of number 5. Or you can hope that Dark Horse just picks him up straight up, which would be nice. But I don't know if they're just going to go from like trade 1 through 4 and then go, or just do trades. So we'll have to wait and see. Mm-hmm. All right. Back to our reviews for Mercury Mouse. Four and 5. I paid $24. That's including all the shipping and everything, apparently. 2 issues. Big Kahuna Media. Everything by Larry Raines. All ages, animal tune superhero. Think Mighty Mouse, but not Mighty Mouse. This is continuing the adventures of Mercury Mouse. And number 4 is the origin tale of the titular hero. A young lab assistant to a highly successful scientist gets changed forever when a scientist's former partner gets jealous when he isn't credited for their work together, and he sabotages the lab to explode just as they are experimenting on a new liquid compound. That's where the guy who has the scientist has his head bandaged, he loses his eye, and of course the character gets doused in the liquid and he becomes Mercury Mouse from the liquid. In issue number 5, Mercury has to face off against an alien named Hitch, whose space saucer needs blocks of ice to stop its engines from overheating. And he tries to take some, but they think he's stealing, and they get in a fight. Is the language barrier causing conflict, or can they get past it before catastrophe strikes and people get hurt or worse? What do I think? Rain sometimes loses the background details a bit, and I think that can hurt his art because it looks like he's just drawing figures with no backgrounds. But that's the only real weakness I've noticed about his work. The stories have been very well told, if straightforward. And the series is very much all ages, and of course, fans of Mighty Mouse will enjoy it. In fact, when I got this in the mail a week or so ago, my father thought it was a ripoff of Mighty Mouse. And I'm like, especially the visual design, he actually thought that Mercury was Mighty Mouse. I'm like, no, I had to go get my phone and look it up, show him on the phone that no, Mighty Mouse looks different. But I do wish Diamond would pick this up so that Raines wouldn't have to charge so much for the books. Shipping cost kills it, but even without the shipping, it's coming out to about $6 or $7 a book. And while the book is entertaining, I do question whether or not people are going to want to continue to pay that price comparative to other books on the market. Even though it's a well-done book, I just, people are kind of iffy on the higher price points, and I understand it. So I give it 4 out of 5 stars for what it is. Like I said, it's something I would recommend if you have kids, especially little ones. I think they'd really enjoy it, but what can you do? Diamond's going to be Diamond. Here's some of the artwork. And you can see the white in the word balloons is a little bit darker than the outside edges, and that's because I touched up the scan. The whole book prints a little bit dark. For some reason, he likes to make the paper look like it's old-timey paper, even though it's not. That's the other flaw that I find in his work, but that's his creative choice. As you can kind of see, his backgrounds are a little bit lacking and inconsistent from page to page, but story-wise, it's all right. Next page. This is a lot better as far as the backgrounds are concerned. And of course, this is where the Red Mercury gets created. And what happens is the other lab, the former partner, sneaks in and cuts the Bunsen burner. So when they come back to reheat the mercury, the gas leaks and it explodes, which takes us to this. And of course, Harvey, Mercury Mouse, was right there by the Red Mercury when the lab exploded, and as you can see, he is completely doused with the liquid, and it's changing him. And then this is from issue 5, where he faces off against the alien. Of course, the professor's been knocked out, and he's got a little translator device to try and understand the alien, but he's about to shoot the professor and his female lab assistant when Mercury comes in and tackles him. And they continue to fight until finally the woman gets the translator device to work so that he can understand both of them can understand each other and resolve their issue. Lastly, we have Proton, number 1 and 2 for $5 each from OK Comix. Written and drawn by Jerry Ordway, famously known for his work on inking Byrne on Fantastic Four, working on Superman and The Power of Shazam and other titles for DC. Genre science fiction, action adventure. This was released in 2021 and 2022. Now, originally number 1 came out in 2021. This is a second printing of that. And then the number 2 issue came out in July of 2022. I just got these like a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. The book is in black and white, and half of each book is the Proton story, and half of the book is sketchbook filled with commissioned sketches of mainstream characters. We'll talk about that in a moment. Let's move on to the story. This story concept originally appeared in a book called The Messenger, number 23. Now, I'm not familiar with The Messenger, but it dates back to the 1970s and Ordway's fanzine work from his group OK Comix. That's where he gets OK Comix now. So the character's been around for a very long time. The story is about a man named Harry who is on the run from the so-called Men in Black. He has left a note for his wife Carol at home, and she is confronted by a Man in Black named Perutsky as Harry plays cat and mouse with the other G-men trying to escape town. He gets captured, however, by the G-men, and they knock him out and put him in a sealed body bag straitjacket and rush him out of a mall where they captured him on a gurney as a so-called biohazard. As they're beginning to load him into the ambulance, his body keeps heating up, so much that the others can feel the heat emanating off of him through the bag. Meanwhile, Carol has figured out that the government wants her husband, but not why, and follows Perutsky to the mall, hoping he will lead her to her missing husband. What she doesn't know is that Harry's dreamt of being either an alien or being abducted by aliens and changed. That wasn't really quite made clear in the story. Harry wakes up from his knockout as the men in black try to drug him again and put him under, and this time his body explodes into flames and destroys the ambulance. He emerges from the ambulance unscathed, kind of like the Human Torch, but not. You can still see him, but flames come emanating off of him like the Human Torch. And he's totally ticked off at everybody, of course. Carol rushes to the front of the mall, and she sees Harry burning and is freaked out as the MIB agents try to control him. Eventually, one of the men in black tell Carol to give Harry a containment suit, and just before he explodes again, he puts the suit on and his energies are contained. All of this action takes place in front of hundreds of people at the mall, and Perutsky tries to kill Harry, but the guy in charge of the operation stops him, and Perutsky swears he's going to report the whole thing to their higher-ups for allowing it all to be exposed out to the open to the public. What do I think? I think it's a very interesting story, and I enjoy the artwork, but the pacing of the story is a little bit jarring, and it doesn't seem like Ordway has it quite planned out yet. It's kind of hard to tell because while the first issue is a full story with maybe 6 or 8 pages of sketches in the back, issue number 2 is only 12 pages of story and has 20 pages of sketches and mainstream stuff. Personally, I think he could have just collected the whole story so far in one issue. But since this seems to be crowdfunded, maybe he isn't getting the support he needs to focus on the book just as itself. This is why I get annoyed with Dark Horse and Oni and IDW and Boom and Aftershock as publishers, because here's a perfectly good comic that should be marketable and a reasonably strong selling title by a reasonably well-known artist and creator who has a fan base, but instead they're publishing Cullen Bunn left and right, like 20 different titles from that prick. I'm tired of it, and it makes me want to punch their editors in the face. Stop publishing the same boring-ass people over and over again when you have quality product like this from equal, if not superior, talent available to publish. Someone like Ordway is not out of style, but he can't do this book on a regular schedule if publishers won't support it. Now, because the second issue is so short, I have to score it a little bit lower than I normally would. If this was being done as a regular comic series, though, it would probably score 4+ stars. Instead, I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. And I'm being a little bit generous at probably more of a 3, but I'm giving 3.5 because I really do like the art on it. It is recommended for ages 14 and up. Let's take a look at the art. This is the scene where he wakes up just as they're about to hit him with the next thing to knock him out with. And his hands are around their throats and he's actually burning their skins because he's basically, going into the flaming mode. Blows out the back of the whole ambulance, and as you can see, his whole body is inflamed and stuff. But for some reason, the clothes don't burn completely off like they should. This is the end of the issue of part 1. And this is actually part 2, not part 1, where the one in charge tries to get them to send him the special suit. And he can't control the flames, so he's about to go into another, like almost a nuclear level explosion. But they got him the suit, and now he's in the suit that contains him. And then there's a part of the sketch gallery, the first page and the second one. But let me see if I've got the book right here. So This is Proton number 2. And like I said, it's like 12 pages of story, and then it goes just a bunch of DC characters and Marvel characters that he did sketches of. Which, it's nice artwork. I don't mind looking at it. But like you say, Pop, I would have preferred to have a story. But, again, it's nice to look at these, I guess, but maybe he included these as part of his campaign, because I did not buy these off the actual campaign. I bought them directly from Jerry online through another connection. And again, like I said, it's got some nice art in there, but it's like a separate thing to me, rather than the actual story. But the story, what they're giving you, the story is good. So I just wish there was more of it. What campaign have I backed that exceeded all my expectations, blew my mind? Probably Ron Randall's Trekker, whenever Ron does something new at Trekker. And I can't think of the whole name. It's kind of an odd named thing. It's from a guy in the UK. Let me go get it real quick. The collected edition of Beast Hunting Battle Badgers. And Steve Sims from the UK did this. And it's just really, really thick, as you can see. It was like $50 for this. And he also sent me 2 original AC3 8.5 by 11 sketches with the piece of some of the characters in there. So, which I don't have the sketches right by me right now, but yeah, this was a really good book. This got a 5-star, and I even had Steve on the show and in the past. So if you look up Quoth the Raven Battle Badgers, or in the archives, the video that we talk about this book, and Steve is on the show with me, so you can check that out. That would probably be the 2 that have really exceeded expectations. You mean, why do I show the digital instead of the physical books? Part of the reason is I don't want to have all the books constantly flipping all over the place. And frankly, the scans look better to me than people tell me that they like the scans better, or have in the past. That's why I tend to do it. Is Battle Badger still available? I don't know for sure. Because that was a while ago that this came out. That was I think it was a year ago that came out. So I don't know if it's still available. You can go check. Let me see if he's on Facebook real quick. I think he is. Yes. Let me ask him real quick, and he can let me know. Exactly when he'll get back to me, I don't know. But as soon as he gets back to me, I'll let you guys know online if he's got them available and where to get them. Are they honey badgers? Yeah, I guess. I mean, let me go ahead and open this up a little bit here. Flint and Laird, and it's kind of a nod to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Peter Laird, and stuff like that. But two brother badgers looking for stuff to do, get food. They're starving. Get in trouble. I think Steve does really nice artwork. Well, we'll see. Well, I'll think about that. And of course, we have a visitor. Speaking of crazy animals. Come on. You get up here. The little one. Everybody know he wants attention. So now he's gonna okay, I'm up here now. What do I do? But yeah, but that is pretty much the show for tonight, folks. So hopefully you saw some stuff that you might have been interested in, but if not, we'll try again next week, see if we find some other stuff. If you see something on Kickstarter or Indiegogo that you think might be interesting, go ahead and send me the link to the address you see on the screen, quothravenlbr72@gmail.com. And I'll check it out and see if it's something I want to talk about. And this little monster is something else. I think you asked me, North, about some of my own comics as well. And I told you about Space of the Alien, and I told you I would show you the artwork of what that character is, more updated. If I can just get over here. This was something I did last year. Here, I actually drew this on the show, so there's Spacey. And hopefully I'll get into a full book again. It's been a long time since I've drawn a full book. No, actually just there. Now, back in the 90s, I did this character as a comic and coloring book type thing for it, and I did like, what was it? Jeez, a lot of issues. Something like 83 issues of that book or something, some crazy amount. I don't know anymore, but from like 93 until 99, I did that series, and I made good money on that one. But anyway, $25 bid confirmed for what? But anyway, so that's pretty much the show for tonight. Thursday around noon or so, we'll be back with our Q&A short. We'll be probably talking about the CW situation. For those of you who don't know, CW was apparently sold to a new media group called Nexstar, and there's been some brouhaha about social media about that sort of thing. So I'm going to do a little more research on that and then talk about that on Thursday around noon. And then Thursday evening, we'll be back with more comics reviews and discussion at 9 p.m. Do I have original copies of Spacey books? No. I sold out of all that stuff back in the 90s. And what few copies I did have got lost when I moved out west from the earliest issues. That was one of the most heartbreaking things. When I moved from Michigan to Arizona, I lost pretty much all my creator-owned stuff, along with about another 20 or 30% of my collection of comics. The moving truck broke down, and we had to wait for another truck to unload and reload onto the new truck, and either got left behind, but I still think someone stole it out of the group while we were trying to move things around. And I did get compensated financially for the loss of the books because I did have inventory for the official books, but I couldn't do an inventory value for my own stuff because it wasn't official. It was all underground type comics, as they call it, and so they didn't count it. But I got enough on the official comics, I guess you could say, to make up for the losses in terms of financial loss. But the historical value and the loss of it, not having it there to look at, is, like you say, heartbreaking. So, yeah, but other than that, now I don't have any of the old stuff. I don't have any Supreme 6. I don't have any Komodo the Dragon. I don't have Abstracted Justice, Twilight, Evil or Midnight Angel. It was originally called Evil Angel, later called Midnight Angel. All that stuff that I did in the 90s is in the wind, shall we say. If you happen to be in Michigan, Ohio, or Indiana, or Illinois, you might, if you're very, very lucky, find it in the $1 bins and at conventions. And I mean at conventions, not comic book shops as a rule, because I didn't sell them through comic book shops. I sold them directly to readers. So if anybody got them through comic book stores, it would have to be someone who sold their collection to the comic shop afterwards. Did I lose original art too? Most of it, yeah. Most of it I did. But I also sold a lot of it. That's how I made money in the 90s. And I wasn't, I wouldn't say I wasn't smart enough. I just, a lot of that stuff, over the years, I had it all on CDs and I had it on other stuff. And of course, technology has changed, and now I can't get either the CD went bad or it doesn't want to read on the players, or frankly, they just don't have stuff to read that stuff anymore because it's all outmoded technology. So I might have some of it sitting on a disk somewhere, but how to access it, or if it can even be accesses, or if it's corroded, been corrupted over the decades, who knows? That's one of the problems with digital artwork, as you know. But the original physical work, I sold most of that stuff off a long time ago because I had to pay for my parents' medical bills and stuff like that. But I kind of, I guess you could say I regret it in a way, but at the time I wasn't thinking of it as something I had, I was that attached to, I guess you could say. I don't have it, I'll make more. That was kind of the thing I always felt. And, my parents got really sick and I ended up taking that hiatus for a long time. And when you take a years-long hiatus from something like this, no matter how popular your product is, you're going to lose your audience base because they move on to other things. And then, of course, everybody ages out of comics as a general rule of thumb anyway, supposedly. So, the audience that was into that stuff might not necessarily be into it anymore, So I just, that's part of one of the reasons why I haven't really gotten fully into doing my own books again, because people tell me they want the work and then I go do something and then I see no actual interest. And it's like, do I really want to put the time in to do all this work for something that isn't going to get supported? That's part of the reason why I haven't done any of that stuff. And again, I know people are like, well, just go do it, crowdfunding. And, I've looked at it and I've watched people who are much more high profile than me fail at it. And it just, do I really want to do it? I don't know. So we'll wait and see. But if I'm doing it, I need to get with it within the next, by the end of the year anyway. So anyway, that's all for now. We'll see you guys tomorrow. If you enjoyed this episode or you think others might, please share the episode and hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons to continue to get content from my channel. As always, I thank you for watching and for your support. On social media, you can find me on Facebook at Lewis.BrightRaven, at Twitter at LewisBrightRave2. You can see more of my artwork on deviantart.com/BrightRaven. You've been watching Quoth the Raven, Lewis Brightraven, exclusively on YouTube. Questions, comments, recommendations for other crowdfunding campaigns I might not be aware of. Quoth the Raven, LBR72@gmail.com is the address to reach me at. And if I don't get back to you with an email or mention you on the channel, try me at lewisbrightraven@yahoo.com. But if I don't like something, I probably won't mention it on the show, but I'll try to be polite about it. But anyway, that's all for now. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys again on Thursday. Have a good night, everyone.